Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS. Today in this session, we are going to see current affairs of 25th February 2024. So we are going to take Delhi edition of Hindu and we are going to pick out the articles which are relevant from our examination point of view. And later on, we are going to see in how many dimensions you can think about that topic. And also, I will be connecting one topic with different subjects, so that you can understand how this interlinking of subjects can be done, and you will be understanding like how can we connect and how can we get as many dimensions as possible, because this multi-dimensional approach is very important to understand the concept deeply so that you can develop your own perspectives, and also it will be helpful for your mains answer writing, especially in your essay. And not only that, even in your interview also you can get questions based on this multi-dimensions. Clear? So in this way you have to read this current affairs, and no one is going to be teach you like how to read a topic in a multi-dimensional manner. That we are doing in this Rathods IAS. And one more thing here is, if you are watching this analysis, please do watch consistently. So actually yesterday we posted video late. So actually I started my analysis as usual around 6:40 to 7 a.m. But actually there was one article yesterday regarding government, that is regarding Gemini AI. Okay, so it said about our Prime Minister, right? So because of this, twice the checking happened regarding the video. So it was a problem for the YouTube. Okay, so YouTube took like around 2 hours of time to check the video twice regarding anything which is against government is given or not. So later on the video has been published. Yes, that is a problem. Okay, so because of that, yes, it was late. Okay, so it is not the problem or mistake from my side. Okay, so I want to give this clarity. And even yesterday itself I thought that I have to post this news in Telegram channel, but I thought like why I have to make it seen, so that I didn't. Yes, now let us see this front page, and especially Sunday's newspaper is important to cover environment and ecology, and as well as science and technology related current affairs. So please don't skip this Sunday's newspaper for sure. And you will be not getting any editorials or text and context or opinion page. So you will be taking very less time to complete this Sunday's newspaper. So spend around 40 to 50 minutes of time. It is more than enough. Okay, so this is front page. So in this front page I found there is one important article, okay, regarding our examination point of view. Title says after 11 years gap. So after 11 years gap, center discloses K consumption expenditure survey data. So this article is talking about All India Household Consumption Expenditure Survey. Okay, so this is very important. And now let us see like what are the dimensions that you have to think. Okay, it is talking about All India Household Consumption Survey. So you have to see like what is this. First of all, what is this? And you have to see like what are the parameters. And next one here is you have to see the data which is highlighted here. So this data you can use in your mains answers. And next you have to see what is the implication. Okay, so what is the implication? And even you have to understand what is the significance. And even you have to see one more dimension, like, so from last 11 years this data had not been released. So what happens when there is no data release? So these are the different dimensions that you have to think from this article point of view. And this article is important from GS paper 3 under economy. And these are the dimensions from your economy point of view. And even we can connect this topic with GS paper 2 under society. So you have to see like what is the impact. Okay, what is the impact on the society and how the society behavior is there, okay, regarding consumption. So these are the dimensions that you have to think. Okay, so let us see our notes part. If you see the context, it says that for the first time in about 11 years, the government released the broad findings of All India Household Consumption Expenditure Survey, and this data which had been carried out between 2022 and July 2023. Okay, so it is between this August to July month, it is around 1 year. So this data which released by the government, and it is focusing on the very broad findings. So it is especially focusing on some important parameters. We are going to see that. So this data which plays a very important key role in reviving critical economic indicators. Some examples of our economic indicators are GDP, that is gross domestic product. And you can see like there will be lots and lots of estimates that will be seen in news regarding this GDP, like World Bank estimates, IMF estimates, and SBI estimates, and even different credit rating agencies estimates, right? So this GDP, I can say it is one of the important economic indicator. And even we can understand the poverty levels. That means if we are very poor, so we will be not affording the things, so that the consumption will be decreased. And also like consumer price inflation, gross domestic product, poverty levels, consumer price index. So these are some important critical indicators. And apart from that, here we have household consumption expenditure survey. So this household consumption expenditure survey, which is conducted by NSO. So NSO is nothing but National Statistical Office every 5 years. And the findings of last survey conducted in 2017-2018. So as soon as this demonetization of high value notes, for example 500 rupees notes and 1000 rupees notes, so they had been demonetized, right? So after this demonetization of this high value currency notes, so we came up with this survey. And also later on we came up with implementation of this GST in 2017. And finally, we have never got the quality data after government cited issues. So we did not get this proper quality of data. So as per the survey here, average monthly per capita consumption expenditure, that means averagely, so how much consumption that a family is doing in 1 month, that is called as monthly per capita, that is to per person. Okay, per capita consumption expenditure in Indian households, which had been increased by 33.5% since 2011 to 2012. So if you are comparing now, it had been increased by 33.5% in urban households with rupees 3,510 with okay, and even in the rural areas also we had increased like 40.42% increase. Okay, so in this way here in the rural areas and the urban areas, if you compare with 2011-12, so consumption had been increased. And importantly, so this data which mainly shows that spending on food has dropped to 46.4% for rural households. And so if you are comparing with 2011 to 2012, so consumption especially on this food, that is spending on this food, had been decreased. And urban peers spend just 39.2% of overall their monthly expenditure on this food. Okay, so this is the thing which mainly said. And if you see some facts regarding this consumer expenditure survey, so if you're talking about time interval here, traditionally a quinennial, that is every recurringly 5 years survey which is conducted by National Sample Survey Office, and which comes under this NSO, that is National Statistical Office. So it comes under mainly the MOSPI, that is Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So once in every 5 years, so we will be having this survey. And if you're talking about what is the scope here is, so in this survey they try to collect information on consumption spending patterns of household across the country. And they will be differentiating data based on the urban areas and as well as rural areas. Okay, so this is the one important thing that you have to remember from this consumer expenditure survey. So if we're talking about information which is generated here, so this information which reveals average expenditure on goods. For example, how much they are spending on food items and as well as non-food items. And it also helps to generate estimates of household monthly per capita consumer expenditure, and as well as the distribution of households and persons over this MPCA classes. And if you're talking about what is significance of this survey, okay, so we are going to see significance in two ways. So first one is general, that means on the normal public, and next one is what is significance for this policy makers. So first let us see general. So it helps in calculating the demand dynamics of economy. So it will be helpful in calculating the demand dynamics of the economy, and even it will be helpful in understanding the shifting priorities in terms of baskets of goods and services. And in this way it also provides pointers to the producers of goods and providers of services. So it will be very much helpful, okay, for shifting of policies for the producers of goods and as well as services. So based on the consumption or based on this data, so they will be going for increasing or decreasing of manufacturing or providing of services. So even this survey which will be helpful to access the standards of living of people and how the growth is happening across the multiple strata, okay, multiple sections of society. Okay, clear? And if you see significance for policy makers, so this survey which is providing an analytical and is also providing a tool which helps government in planning required interventions and policy. So it will be helpful for government for having interventions and as well as policies, and even it will helpful to spot and address possible structural anomalies that may cause demand to shift in a particular manner, and even it will be helpful for specific socio-economic or regional division of the population, and even it will helpful to rebase our GDP, that is gross domestic product, and even other macroeconomic indicators. So in this way this survey is very important. Clear? So this is about this topic, and now let us move on to our page back. So in the city page I found nothing important. Okay, you can go on to this states page. Yes, in this states page you can see some important articles. Okay, here you can see one important article from history point of view, that is poor amenities affect Medaram Jatra devotees. So here we are focusing on this keyword, that is Medaram. Okay, so Medaram Jatra is also called as Sammakka Saralamma Jatra. So this article is important from GS paper 1, that too from art and culture, because so this, especially this tribal fair or like, so this tribal festival is very important because it is protecting the tribal culture. So here you will be studying about festivals topic in your art and culture. So from that you have to see this article, and here you have to see some dimensions like what are the important features. Okay, so what are the important features of this festival and important points of this festival and location. Okay, and there is one important river. So from geography point of view also we can connect this topic. So there is one river which is flowing, okay, in this area, so which is a tributary of river Godavari. So you have to see like rivers like Godavari and its tributaries. So from that point of view also, this article is important. So now let us see the notes of this topic. So before that, there is one more important topic. It is about BSF. We are going to see that first. So title says BSF unearths Maoist dumps in Odisha's Malkangiri district. So what happened? So BSF, it unearthed some dumps of this Maoist and it finds some important things from that dumps. So here you have to see some dimensions. Okay, so I will tell you about dimensions. So this topic is important from left-wing extremism. So left-wing extremism is also called as Naxalism, or we can also call it as Maoism. Naxalism, Maoism, left-wing extremism. So this topic is important from GS paper 3 under internal security. So this left-wing extremism is one of the important internal security issue. And here you have to see what is this left-wing extremism, and you have to see what are the reasons of this left-wing extremism, and you have to see like areas which are affected by this left-wing extremism. And apart from that, you have to see like what are the measures taken by the government, and you have to see like a recent statement given by our Union Home Minister. So our Union Home Minister, he said that there is decreased incidence of this Naxalism or Maoism. Okay, you have to see that, and you have to see like what is the way forward. And so these are the dimensions from internal security. And you can also see one more important area like BSF, Border Security Force. So we have Central Armored Police Forces. So here BSF, it is one example of this CAPF. Okay, so from this point of view, here you have to know some facts regarding this CAPF. So this article is mostly important from means, but from BSF point of view, that is Border Security Force, you can expect a prelims based question here. Okay, so these are some important things that you have to remember. So now let us see this topic in detail. So if you see the details, it says that BSF, based on reliable information about the presence of explosives in the dumps. So finally they found around 3 pressure cookers, 20 meters of cordex, it is a type of durating cord, and each one is 24 gelatin sticks and 2 bundles of electric wires. Okay, especially in this Silakota Reserve Forest. Okay, so they found some important things which are used by this Naxalist or Maoist. So if we're talking about some facts regarding this BSF, so BSF, it was raised in year 1965. So in which year? 1965, after India-Pakistan war. So it is one of the 7 Central Armed Police Forces of Union of India, and they comes under administration of Ministry of Home Affairs. And other important Central Armed Police Forces are, for example, we have Assam Rifles, we have Indo-Tibetan Border Police, we have Central Industrial Security Force, Central Reserve Police Force, National Security Guards, and Sashastra Seema Bal. So these are some important examples of the Central Armed Police Forces. And if you see here, around 2.65 lakh forces is deployed along this Pakistan and Bangladesh borders. And even it is deployed along this Indo-Pakistan international border. Okay, and especially this line of control along with Indian Army and as well as anti-Naxal operations. So actually this BSF, which is also defending Sar Creek in Arabian Sea and as well as Sundarban Delta in this West Bengal region. And even they are very much famous in this state-of-art fleet of watercrafts as well. And even this BSF, it is also contributing to United Nations peacekeeping mission also. Okay, so in this way BSF is playing a very important role. And now let us see our topic, that is Medaram Jatra. So we are going to see some facts. Okay, so actually Medaram Jatra is going on, that is Sammakka Sarlamma Jatra. So here they are facing some problems, like there is poor traffic management, so there is no proper management of traffic, and inadequate provisions of drinking water, buttermilk. So that what happened nowadays, temperature also rising, and even now around the time is 7 a.m. 7:05. So now also I am feeling very much sweaty, so because I am not using fan, I am not using AC. So here, especially if you are going outside, okay, outside, and normally in afternoon time you will be facing like heavy temperature, and because of that you will be facing dehydration. So if you are going out, you need to rehydrate your body, like you have to drink water, and you have to take coconut water or like buttermilk, etc. But there is no proper provisions of drinking water and buttermilk, so that lakhs of pilgrims who are participating in the Sammakka Saralamma Jatra at Medaram in Mulugu district of Telangana, so they are facing lots of problems here. So now we are going to see like some facts regarding this Jatra. So this Sammakka Saralamma Jatra is also known as Medaram Jatra, and it's a tribal festival. So in this festival, so people, they are honoring the goddesses celebrated in the state of Telangana. That is very important. And the festival is demonstration of tribal devotion, and people from all walks of the life, they join together to commemorate the revolt. So this revolt, which led by the Sammakka and as well as Sarlamma, so they were mother and daughter, against imposing taxes on tribal population during the period of drought, okay, by this Kakatiya rulers in this 12th century. So where is the location? So location is in a very remote place in Etur Nagaram Wildlife Sanctuary, and actually it is a part of Dandakaranya. Okay, so it is one of the largest surviving forest belt in Mulugu. So this Jatra, which is held every once in 2 years, that is biannually, and it is celebrated during the time of the goddesses of tribals is believed to visit them. And if you see this ritual, so one important feature of this festival is they will offer bangaram or gold. Gold is nothing but jaggery of the quantity which is equal to their weight to the goddesses, and finally they will be taking holy bath in Jampannavagu. So this Jampannavagu is a river, and it is a tributary of river Godavari. And if you are talking about the significance of this festival, so this festival, which is serving as a platform to understand harmony between the people and tribal communities, and even it will be helpful for preservation of their unique traditions, culture, heritage on a global scale. Okay, so these are some important things that you have to remember regarding this article. And now let us go back to our Delhi page. So here you can see one important article, that is 3 new criminal laws, they are going to come into force on July 1st. Okay, so these 3 bills, they are going to, so these 3 acts, they are going to replace this IPC, CRPC and Indian Evidence Act. And at that time, so we do not know exactly the date when it is going to implement it, because we have to train our police forces, right? So because of this, finally here now there is an announcement that we are going to implement these 3 new criminal laws from July 1st onwards. So we have to see this article in a very great detail, and especially you have to know some facts regarding this article. Okay, so recently here you know that one thing which is in news, like about hit and run cases. So hit and run cases will be also going to implement from July 1st. So now let us see this topic in detail. So this article is important from your polity and governance point of view, which comes under GS paper 2. So if you see the context, it says that the 3 new criminal laws, so these were passed by Parliament in 2023. So they are going to come into effect from July 1st. So it is a notification that is given by Ministry of Home Affairs. So 3 new criminal laws that were passed by Parliament in 2023 will come into effect from July 1st according to the notification which is given by Ministry of Home Affairs. So if you see some details, it says that Section 106 of Class 2. Okay, section 106 subclass 2 of Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, that is BNS. So this provides for punishment of 0 to 10 years in hit and run cases. Okay, it has been put on hold. Okay, so actually there was one thing which mainly said here is, so lots and lots of protests they were done by these trucks, people and lorries, etc. Okay, so here, so this provision has been put on hold, so which is present in this new thing or new act, that is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. Earlier, transporters and drivers across the country, they stuck work to protest in a particular provision. So because of this, yes, it has been put on hold as of now, and we don't have any clarity regarding when it is going to be implemented, or whether it is going to be replaced or not, whether it is going to be removed or not. So we don't have any clarity, but as of now it had been put on hold. But the government says that here we are going to implement this Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita and other two important acts from July 1st onwards. So if we're talking about this Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita and Bharatiya Saksha Adhiniyam, so they will be replacing this IPC, CRPC and Indian Evidence Act. Okay, and actually these acts they got assent from our president in 2023 itself. So even though the legislations or the laws or the acts, so which had been passed in 2023 itself, so the date of implementation was not notified because of protest, because of training that we have to give. So since the new laws will overhaul the criminal justice system, so government need to train the police officials and as well as judiciary. So because of this, so there is no particular date which has given regarding this implementation. And even union territories under the and also the states are not showing much interest to train their judiciary and as well as police. So if you're talking about these three criminal law reforms, so if you're talking about the formation of committee, so Ministry of Home Affairs on May 4th, 2020 itself, it's established a committee. So it is going to review and recommend the reforms, and this committee was headed by Ranbir Singh. And the important aim of this committee, it is to overhaul the criminal justice system and to provide the clear definitions of various offences and punishments. Okay, actually this criminal law and criminal procedure, so they fall under this concurrent list. It is also very, very important. And now let us move back to our Hindu. So there are other important articles also. So here you can see two articles. So first one is squad grouping is here to stay and grow, says Jai Shankar. So this article is talking about one important grouping, that is squad. Yes, our external affairs minister, he said that quad grouping is going to stay and grow and to contribute. Okay, so this is a statement which is given by our external affairs minister. He said that this grouping, which contains 4 countries like India, Australia, Japan and US, so it is focusing on especially Indo-Pacific region, and we are focusing on this global order. So for this thing, so for this Indo-Pacific region and for this maintenance of global order, so we need more collaboration. Okay, so this is a thing which mainly said by our external affairs minister, that's it. So here you have to see some dimensions. So what are the dimensions that you have to see? So first you have to see this squad, whether it is formal or informal. So please let me know whether it is formal or informal. And you have to see like countries. So we have US, Japan, Australia and India. And one thing you have to see is what are the aims and objectives. So what is the significance of Quad? And this topic is important from international relations, which comes under GS paper 2. Okay, so these are the dimensions that you have to think about. And next important topic is, okay, I hope you can see, right? That is, countries should be aware of decrease of terrorist financing. So the key word here is terror financing. So here you have to know about FATF, that is Financial Action Task Force. So now why it is in news? Because Financial Action Task Force came up with some modifications to its assessment methodology, and especially they are focusing on recent revisions to its standards for protection of non-profit organization from potential abuse for terrorist financing. So here you have to know about some dimensions. So this article is talking about terror financing. Okay, so you have to understand what is the meaning of terror financing. So here in this terror financing we have state actors and we have non-state actors. So you have to say who are the state actors and non-state actors. And also you have to see like what is the impact of terror financing. And here organizations which are focusing on this terror financing, and especially you have to know about FATF and its role. In this FATF we have two lists. Okay, one will be like grey list and second one will be blacklist. So you have to see like which are the countries part of this blacklist. Okay, so all these are very important dimensions that you have to see. So this topic is important from GS paper 3 under defense and also from GS paper 2 under international relations. So in these two subjects point of view, this article is important and these are the dimensions that you have to think about. Clear? So these are the very important articles. And next here you can see one more article, that is Center to examine Ladakh's demand for constitutional safeguard. So Ladakh is demanding for something. So Ladakh is demanding for the statehood. First thing, it is asking for statehood, and second thing is it is asking for inclusion under the 6th schedule. Okay, under Article 244 of Indian Constitution. So whenever this Ladakh which is getting this 6th schedule, so it will helpful for the protection of culture, tribal population, and even it will be allows this Ladakh to come up with autonomous development council so that it can frame laws on land, public health and agriculture. So as of now 10 autonomous councils are present in this Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. Okay, so these are the demands that you have to remember, and especially you have to focus on this 6th schedule. So there is a high chance of getting your prelims question from this 6th schedule, right? So it is very important. And if you move on, you can enter into this science page directly. Yes, in this science page, the first article is at most important. It is about prehistoric case of Edward syndrome found for the first time. So this article is at most important from your science and technology point of view. Okay, and especially from your health also it is very important. And now let us see the dimension. So this article is talking about Edward syndrome. So it is caused because of genetic problem. So this disease which is related to the chromosomes. It is also called as 18 trisomy. 18 trisomy is nothing but normally we will be having 2 chromosomes. But here in this Edward syndrome, so we will be having 3 chromosomes in the place of 18. So it is called as 18 trisomy. So this is very important and we are going to see this. So this article says that researchers, they reported that chromosomal disorders they had discovered from prehistoric skeletal remains, so which is dating back to 5,500 years old. And in that study they found around 6 cases of Down syndrome and 1 case of Edwards syndrome. So in this Down syndrome also we will be having 3 chromosomes at a place of 21. Okay, 21 chromosomes, and this Edwards syndrome at a place of 18, yes, we have 3 chromosomes. So actually I lost my first baby because of this diagnosis of Down syndrome. So that I will be getting very much fear. So if I see this Down syndrome anywhere, sometimes if I hear this Down syndrome or if I see this Down syndrome, then I will be getting like giddiness. Yes, it hurted me a lot. And I went to depression into like 3 to 4 months of time. So even if anyone who is talking to me, I don't listen to them, and I will be in my thinking like, why my son got this Down syndrome, like that. I went to depression. Yes, it was very tough time. Okay, that too it happened around 2020. Yes, 19 to 20 I faced lots and lots of issues because of this Down syndrome. Yes, now let us see the details. So if you're talking about this disease which is regarding to the chromosomal disorders, so normally in every human cell we will be having 46 chromosomes, that means 23 pairs of chromosomes. So out of which 22 are autosomes and 1 pair will be sex chromosomes, that will be like XX or XY. So XX means female, XY is nothing but male. So chromosomal disorders result from structural changes or numerical changes in the chromosomes. So whenever there is any disorder in the structure and as well as the number, then we will be getting this chromosomal disorders. For example, Edwards syndrome, Down syndrome, Patau syndrome, like that. So Edwards syndrome is also known as trisomy 18. That means the presence of extra copy, that is third copy of chromosome at this 18 place. So because of this trisomy 18, so many parts of the bodies they were affected, and especially babies, they were often born with small and they will be having heart defects. So I will show you like how it will be. So this will be the first pair, okay, and here in this 18 place we will be having 3 pairs of chromosomes, okay. And what happens, so this is the baby of Edwards syndrome. So this baby will be having prominent occiput like this and low set of ears. So ears will be present at very down position and they will be having a very short neck and overlapping of fingers will be there. And next one is micrognathia, and next one is congenital heart defects and renal malfunctions, limited hip abduction and Roker bottom feet. So these are some important signs and symptoms, and especially we can go for 4D scan, okay, so that we will be seeing like finger deformities and as well as nasal bone, okay, nasal bone and as well as heart defects, okay, so that we can understand the baby is having any genetic deformities or not. And especially we can go for genetic test, okay, 3 triple marker test, 4 marker test, like that, so you can understand like any deformities are there or not. And nowadays we will be going for this NPT test, okay, it will be costing around 20,000 rupees, so that the entire chromosomes of these children will be studied in that test, okay, that can be done around 3 months of time. Okay, so you may have this doubt like how can we study this chromosomes of fetus when they are at the 3 months of age. So normally mother and child or mother and fetus, they will be having the connection, right? So here the broken cells of baby will be circulating in the blood of mother. So whenever we are taking the mother blood, so we will be finding the broken cells of children or that so and so fetus, and we will be extracting those cells, and the study of this DNA and chromosomes will be done so that we can understand the genetic function of the children, and especially we will be studying about the chromosomes as well, right? So for this test it will be taking around 20,000 rupees. Yeah, next important topic is 76% of TB patients paid for nutritional support. So this article is talking about one important scheme under which here direct benefit transfer will be given to this TB patients. So this scheme is Nikshay Poshan Yojana. Okay, so this scheme is Nikshay Poshan Yojana. So now we are going to see this topic in detail. So context says that in 2022 only 1.6 million, they contribute around 66% of TB patients. So they got this monthly payment of 500 rupees under this Nikshay Poshan Yojana. So it is a direct benefit transfer program. So this 500 rupees is given for this TB patients for their nutritional support. Okay, so now here 2022, after this, in 2023 we found that around 76% of TB patients, so they received at least 1 month's payment. So if we're talking about details, the study which analyzes the data from 2018 to 2022, and especially in some states randomly like Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Odisha, Bihar, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Uttarakhand and Meghalaya, and the result had been published in this journal. So the study was conducted by researchers at Chennai-based National Institute of Epidemiology and state with TB score of over 80. So they were grouped under high, and the TB score with 60 they were grouped under this medium, and below 60 is under low. So Delhi, Rajasthan, Bihar TB scores are less than 60, and in Uttarakhand, Telangana, Tamil Nadu we have medium scores. And Meghalaya, Odisha, Gujarat, they had high TB scores. So you have to see where your state stands, and please let me know your state and your state ranking in this TB. And now let us see some facts regarding this Nikshay Poshan Yojana. So this is the scheme which is a centrally sponsored scheme under National Health Mission. So under this here TB beneficiaries were identified, and they will be getting financial incentive of rupees 500 per month, and that money will be transferred to their bank accounts directly. So this is called as direct benefit transfer, and this scheme is registered under this DBT, and incentives can be distributed only in the cash, that too via their bank accounts directly. So I want to give you one today's mains question. It is based on your TB itself. Despite several efforts and regulations, tuberculosis remains a significant issue in India. So this is a statement, and you have to discuss like what are the measures can be taken to tackle the burden of tuberculosis. So this is a very simple mains question. Try to write answer for this question. Post your answer in the comment box. So these are the very important articles that appeared now today's Hindu newspaper. Okay, so nothing much there in our newspaper. So read these articles, this is more than enough. And one more thing here is, where can you get the notes of this class? So you can get this notes of this class if you join this Rathods IAS classes Telegram channel. You can easily download the notes which is provided in the PDF format. And this is our Rathods IAS Academy YouTube channel. So please do subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to subscribe. And this is our website. So we are providing the foundational course including A to Z from prelims to mains. The price is very low, that is 15,000 to 20,000. So many of you may think that price is very less, so quality may be low. So it is not, we are not at all compromising on the quality. So quality will be high, that you can compare with any other institute, and we are going to cover your syllabus 100%. 100% of coverage of syllabus, even with the subtopics, and there will be previous questions of prelims and mains will be also discussed. And apart from that, you will be also having answer writing practice course, prelims test series, prelims enrichment classes before your prelims and mains test series. And if you clear mains, you will be also having the interview guidance. So all these are the facilities that we are providing within this 15,000 to 20,000 rupees only. And if you want to join that foundational course, you can call me or you can text me on WhatsApp on this number 8074765513. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this class. So by this I am concluding. So don't forget to like the class and share this class to your friends. Okay, and we are going to meet in the tomorrow's class. Thank you so much for watching.